Sean, maybe I'll start with you. Either something I forgot to ask or something that's positive for the audience to think through when it comes to, thinking about Afghanistan and these people and what we could have done, should do in the future. I'll just leave the parting thought to you, and then Nathan and Robbie on kind of like, what's the question? You're like, damn, I've been meaning to get to this the whole talk, and Scott forgot to ask the question. So what is that question?
Well, maybe the questions have already been asked, but a couple of things I don't think I got an opportunity to jump in on earlier. So, Robbie, absolutely, agree with a lot of that, especially your passion. I mean, in order for us to continue to be, a world power, we have to be probably two things, right? A really good friend and a really formidable and awful enemy. And right now, we have those reversed. We're a really good enemy and we're a really shitty friend. Like, how many of our allies have we just left out to dry over and over and over again for the past, decades? Hong Kong, Cuba, I mean, Syria, Kurds, you just keep going on and on and on. So, I love the idea about bringing in folks who really understand and, would appreciate more than it seems like half the country at this point, what our true ideals are and what that means. I think to me, Afghanistan and the whole kind of staying there is really less and less about Afghanistan itself. It is, to me, more about the broader geopolitical thing. I think it's a great point about India. I think the problem is that we've made that so much worse, where China is working with Afghanistan now. They're going to have the economic pipeline. Pakistan has already legitimized and made agreements with the Taliban. So now you have China, Afghanistan, Pakistan surrounding essentially India. India is, I'm sure, just completely just on edge. Very, very interesting point about Japan and just helping our other allies kind of do their part essentially. But I think just operating from a realistic perspective is I think kind of the foundation of my viewpoint. And if we aren't doing some of these things, or if we're not keeping things in check in certain places, and certainly we can't be everywhere all at once, nature and politics and all this stuff abhors a vacuum, right? And as soon as there's a vacuum, it's going to be filled, and it's usually going to be filled by the worst folks, right? So now China's moving in. We've probably given all of South Asia essentially over to China. There's going to be huge ripple and domino effects from this. So again, I can liberate and change completely Afghanistan, no, but I think we had a door, an opportunity to kind of be there, keep things in check at a relatively low cost. But we'll certainly kind of see how things go. So where do we go from here? I mean, if we aren't already paying off the Taliban to try to allow safe passage for our folks, out of there, we sure will be. If we are paying them now, we're going to be paying them more, because we're not going to meet that August 31st deadline. We're going to get the prisoners in orange jumpsuits about ready to get their heads cut off and all that kind of stuff. I think, unfortunately, and I think the enemy, the Taliban, knows. I mean, what are we going to do? I mean, what? So one of the things I don't think we've kind of hit on is, to me, it boggles my mind how we just continue to try to treat the Taliban as if they're just some legitimate government, as if there's some group of Westerners. They keep talking about, well, the Taliban has to decide what place they want to have in the world. Is like, they've already decided they are terrorists. Like, that is who they are. So that kind of stuff just really kind of boggles my mind as well. But I think final point, as far as it's kind of like money is fungible. I think terrorism is fungible, right? So the Taliban wasn't the ones who came over and attacked us on 9/11. They harbored Al Qaeda. Al Qaeda was able to come over, right? So the Taliban can have their kind of regional aspirations, but all they have to do is let in Al Qaeda or ISIS, which apparently is coming back in the region, all that kind of stuff, for that stuff to again kind of rapidly find our shores and everything. And I think fundamentally, those types of folks will not rest. I understand hey, you're in our area, you're in Saudi Arabia, but I just personally believe that those types of fundamentalists will get that, and then they'll start to attack anyways. It's not going to be enough. There's the same people that cry death to Israel, the same people, death to America. It's just it's not going to stop. So we need to just start operating within reality,
Well,
not
let's
in this,
divert them
kind of.
to let's divert them to the to aiming their activities at their fellow Muslim brothers and sisters in Xinjiang in China, which is much
Right.
closer and a much more achievable goal. Like make them China's problem. I like it's this is a we can I think we can take steps that make them more of a regional player. They have enough regional issues to deal with.
Yeah, I mean that's an interesting point. I think the only thing I would say is I don't know if they care enough. China obviously doesn't care about that the Taliban are a bunch of murderers. They're just going to take from them and get what they want. I think it might happen just vice versa, where they're willing to kind of maybe even look the other way. But yeah, I mean, who knows? So, anyways, very very interesting stuff. I certainly enjoyed the conversation and being able to share my perspective, and absolutely loved hearing from everybody here. So thank you for the opportunity. Really, really appreciate it.